Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening. So the day is finally here, guys. We are at the end of 2023 Olympiad season. This is the date, 21st of January. It is 2 days later, and we are finally here. The day is here. INMO. 900 students across India are going to give this examination, and out of which around 60 are going to get selected for the next round. And I'm sure a lot of you, every one of you, worked really hard for this, and now it boils down to getting into top 60 of the country. So I thought I would wish you all the best today, although a lot of these students are already enrolled in VOS INMO camp, and we keep on giving them tips individually also, and at a group level also, on Telegram also. But I thought I would take this opportunity to address every one of you. And this is not only for 2024, but also if you are the aspirant of 2025 or 2026 maybe. So this video is definitely going to help you. So quickly, very quickly, I'm going to tell you the do's and don'ts, uh, the technical do's. So technical do's and don'ts, I will be, telling you on this video. So guys, so this is something which I keep on telling to my students. Right. So yes, I can recognize some of the students. Hi Samath, hi Adit, hi Emma. Right. So couple of technical points. So one is make sure that you make good diagrams. It is very important, and preferably those diagrams are to be drawn with pencils. If there's a circle, you of course are allowed to bring your compass and the ruler. So the diagram has to be very, 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 try to make good diagram. It has to be very good, very accurate. And see, it is not only about putting a good impression on the paper checker. Of course, that is one of the things, but it is also about getting ideas from a good diagram. So if you have a good diagram, if two sides are equal, two angles are equal, and if you actually draw two angles equal, two sides equal, you are actually able to relate and see a lot of things in geometry, and this is very important. मुझे लगता है personally that इस बार last year there was a drought in geometry in INMO. This year at least one question of geometry is going to be there, because IMO there were two questions. So of course it cannot happen that they are not going to put two papers back to back without any geometry questions, right? So geometry has to be there. So again, for that, try to make as better diagram as possible. Oh yes, hi Mathili. One. Second, whatever theorem that you use, if it is not standard, and assume that nothing is standard, at least try to state the theorem, number one, and ideally prove that also if it is not very standard. ठीक है. So in the mocks that we are checking, हम बहुत सारे mocks tests check कर रहे हैं. There are 15 mocks in INMO camp views, and a lot of students have been using a lot of theorems and without stating them, without proving them. ठीक है. So ठीक है, prove अगर time है, ideally वो भी करना चाहिए, but again at least state the theorem. So again, if you're using any theorem, by this theorem, so at least state the theorem. This is one thing that you should always do. The third and the most important part is if and only if questions, right? So there are a lot of questions in all the four departments, चाहे वो number theory हो, geometry हो, combi हो, algebra हो, wherein the questions involving if and only if are there, right? तो वहाँ पे please understand if and only if का concept, right? And this is one mistake which a lot of students make. A, prove that A if and only if B happens, right? तो यहाँ पर तुम्हें both ways prove करना होता है. That is, you assume A to be true and you prove that B happens, and also at the same time you assume that B is true, and at the same time using that A happens. This is very important. And last year, I think 2021 में एक question आया था जहाँ पे if and only if use हुआ था, and lot of students thought that they had already solved because they ultimately proved one part. A से B prove किया उन्होंने, but A से B was kind of very obvious, right? So and they did not get any marks, and they were all कि we solve this. So it was actually a fake solve. So not fake solve, but incomplete solve. So if and only if is very important. And by the way guys, I have already made a video on this. उस वीडियो का लिंक मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन पे भी लगा दिया. दिस इज अ वीडियो आई मेड आई थिंक अराउंड 1 year और मे बी 1.5 years बैक, लास्ट टू लास्ट इनमो के टाइम पे, हाउ टू राइट INMO आंसर्स. तो यहाँ पर मैंने ये सारी चीज़ों की बात की हुई है विच आई एम क्विकली टेलिंग इन दिस वीडियो. And you can always have a look at that particular video. It is already in the description box. I have put that in the description of this video. वहाँ पर not only these points but also I've talked about I've also shown a sample answer sheet of one of our students जो उसने वो mocks लिखे थे. तो you can have a look at that answer sheet and so that you get an idea of how to write the answer. So I've already उसमें 2-3 स्लाइड्स के अंदर एक सैम्पल आंसर शीट मैंने अपने स्टूडेंट की ही डाली है. तो वहाँ पर तुम आराम से देख सकते हो, राइट. सो दैट इज़ वन. ऑल्सो डोंट्स, a couple of don'ts. One is, of course, this is something which I also told in the RMO also. Do not make an incomplete bashing, right? So if you're bashing, चाहे वो coordinate bashing है, complex bashing है, incomplete bashing नहीं करनी है. That is the foremost thing. Again, do not use any false theorem. कोई भी false theorem use नहीं करनी है, because see, what happens is if in the first question you're using a false theorem, those people are smart, right? So it is going to be a centralized checking. And so if अगर भी एग्जामिनर को लग गया कि यार ये तो वैसे ही फट्टे मार रहा है एंड ही इज यूजिंग फॉल्स थ्योरम्स टू प्रूव एनीथिंग, सो इवन इफ द रेस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस आर एंटायरली राइट, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू गिव अ गुड इंप्रेशन ऑन द पेपर चेकर, राइट. सो फॉल्स थ्योरम्स कभी भी नहीं डालनी है. एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू डू नॉट यूज फॉल्स थ्योरम बिकॉज द पेपर चेकर्स आर रियली स्मार्ट पीपल, राइट. सो दैट इज द अदर थिंग. And for functional equation, this is something which has been happening in a lot of mocks, VOS mocks. So ये मैं state कर रहा हूँ. So whenever you're finding the answer of a functional equations, so बहुत सारे बच्चे functional equation का आंसर दे देते हैं कि fx is equal to x और fx is equal to x or whatever is the answer. उसके अंदर बस ensure ये करो कि you also have to prove that this is the only solution, right? So this is something which a lot of students avoid. So I am being very technical here in this particular video, and general video मैं already बना चुका हूँ, तो वो डिस्क्रिप्शन पे डाल दिया है हाउ टू राइट INMO आंसर्स. उसके अंदर तुम देख सकते हो. दैट इज दोज आर जनरल पॉइंट्स, बट आई एम बीइंग वेरी टेक्निकल in this particular video, right? So that is the main point, because I wanted to keep it very 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 short, right? So these are the technical points, and this is what I wanted to tell you all guys. And please remember that you guys are awesome. This is one of the most important milestone, I would say. But again, it is not that this is the only milestone. This is one of the many in life, right? So this is an important milestone, but it is one of the many in life. So ठीक है, तो ज़्यादा प्रेशर नहीं लेना है. जितना प्रेशर लेना था वो अब तक हो चुका है. Now it is time to show what you are made of. And this is what I always tell to my students. However the paper goes, your intent and your idea should be to come out with a smile. So जैसा भी पेपर हुआ, give your full efforts in those 4.5 hours. But again, make sure that you come out with a huge smile on your face, because you've worked really hard, guys. I know a lot of people who have been associated with us, not only this year, this academic year, but also past couple of years. They've been working really hard. पहले 2 साल नहीं हुआ था, इस बार जी जान लगा रहे हैं. बहुत सारे बच्चों का ये आखिरी अटेम्प्ट है. बहुत सारे 12th के स्टूडेंट्स, दे आर इन अ वेरी ट्रिकी सिचुएशन, बिकॉज 21st के बाद a week later they have their JEE mains examination, and still they're making their best efforts to do well in INMO and also in JEE, right? So it is a tricky situation for each and every one of us. We worked really hard for this, and come what may, whatever the outcome is, the only thing that you should do and definitely do is come out with a smile. And this is what I want. ये मैं अपने दिल से दुआ करता हूँ. ये हम हमेशा जब भी पेपर होता है, मैं हमेशा भगवान से यही दुआ मांगता हूँ कि यार जैसा भी पेपर हो, बच्चों को हमेशा स्माइल करके वापस आने चाहिए. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई ऑलवेज वांट. एंड आई एम श्योर द एफर्ट्स दैट यू पुट इन, बिकॉज सी इट इज अबाउट द 60 स्टूडेंट्स हु आर गोइंग टू गेट थ्रू आउट ऑफ 900 ऑड. मे बी हो सकता है कि 900 में से 700 बच्चे 600 बच्चे एग्जाम एक्चुअली में दें, एंड आउट ऑफ विच ओनली 60 आर गोइंग टू गेट थ्रू, राइट? सो वी हैव टू बी अवेयर ऑफ दिस फैक्ट. So only 60 are going to make it to this prestigious level, and there will be a lot of learning. So again, try to enjoy this experience इस तरह का मौका हर साल नहीं मिलता, बहुत कम बच्चों को मिलता है, that to be writing INMO. It's a thing of prestige, and you worked really hard to be here. So all the best, guys. My best wishes are always and always with you, and I'm definitely going to pray and root for each and every one of you. And you guys have really worked hard. You guys are awesome. Your whole life is ahead. This is an important milestone, one of the many in life. इसको हमेशा ध्यान रखना, इसको हमेशा याद रखना. Right, so I'm sure you're all going to do really well, great, and make us proud, make your parents proud, make your community proud, make your teachers proud, make your school proud, make your principals proud. I'm sure you all have done that before, and you will be doing this again. Take care, all the best, God bless you, bye everyone, and for kya ho yaar. Bye all.